Hello everyone and welcome to the Tailgate. On this episode we'll be making some barbecue pork loins and talking week 7 football. What's up guys, welcome to the Tailgate. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Armando. I've been in the fantasy sports industry for several years now. You can find my work at footballdiehards.com. You can check me out at my podcast, The Chalk Talk, and I also run the 1 week season Twitter handle. If this is your first time tuning in, we created this show to combine 3 of my passions: craft beer, grilling, and sports. Each week, we'll be trying a new recipe and naming our MVP, most valuable beer. This week's MVP, Hopadillo IPA. Cheers. Let's get things started with the lock of the week. The Chargers are taking on the Titans in a game that's hosted in London, so neither team have home advantage here. However, the Chargers are a far superior team. They're 7-point favorites. I don't know about taking them with the points, but if you're taking them straight up, I think they should easily win this game. Titans have just been awful this season. They look really bad, and the Chargers are a much better team. Go ahead, take the Chargers this week. Let's head on over to the bargain bin. The first player I want to talk about is Tailgate Cohen. He's taking on the New England Patriots in what should be a good game environment for him. Patriots could put up points with anybody, even against a good Bears defense. They've also been bad against pass catching backs, allowing 36 receptions to the position and over 25 DraftKings points per game. Tailgate Cohen has played in at least 48% of the offensive snaps in each of his last 2 games and has been peppered with 17 targets in that time frame. This is a good matchup. His price has gone up, but not enough to scare me. Go ahead, play Tailgate Cohen one more time this week like we did last week. The next player I want to talk about, Antonio Callaway, only 4,300 on DraftKings. Tournament play only for me because there is a lot of volatility here. However, he's been peppered with at least 9 targets in 3 of the last 4 games, no less than 5 targets during that time frame. He takes on the Bucs defense that has allowed the 2nd most receiving touchdowns, the 7th most receptions, and over 1,000 yards in 5 games this season to opposing wideouts. They're also allowing the 2nd most DraftKings points per game. His one-on-one matchup against Brent Grimes is a really good one, as Grimes is rated well below average on Pro Football Focus. This is a smash spot for this offense in general, but Antonio Callaway at 4,300 makes a lot of sense in tournaments. He has a ton of upside and can break 1 or 2 big touchdowns, even though he hasn't been efficient lately. Go ahead, plug him in. The last player I want to talk about is Theo Reddick, 3,800 on DraftKings. Granted, he hasn't done a whole lot this season. However, he has played in 40% of the offensive snaps for this Lions team. He also accounts for 15% of the target share. The Dolphins have really struggled against pass catching backs. We've seen them give up over 20 DraftKings points to James White, Dion Lewis, and Tailgate Cohen this season. Not that Theo Reddick is as talented as some of these running backs, however, he still is a big part of this passing game for the Lions. Therefore, at 3,800, makes a lot of sense. I think there's a pretty safe floor this week for him, and a little bit of upside considering his price tag. You can also consider Kerryon Johnson for 4,500 as well, facing a very bad run defense for Miami. Both running backs for Detroit are in play this week.
It's Chalk Talk time.
The chalk I'm going to go ahead and play this week is Jarvis Landry. He takes on the Bucs defense that, as I mentioned with Callaway, is very bad. In fact, his one-on-one matchup is even better than the one Callaway has against MJ Stewart, who grades out well below average on Pro Football Focus. Now, when you look at Landry's game log as of late, they haven't been that good. However, he is still getting peppered with a ton of targets and is averaging over 10 targets per game this season. There's no need to overthink this and eat that chalk with Jarvis Landry this week. Josh Reynolds probably going to be very popular this weekend, considering he's going to start for the Rams and is only 3,500 on DraftKings. Cooper Kupp is out, so he's going to come in and step into the slot role. The issue I have with Reynolds is he's going to be very popular. I don't know what kind of ceiling he has, and I cannot project exact targets for him, as those Cooper Kupp targets can be distributed amongst multiple players here. Therefore, I'm going to stay away from Reynolds, even though he is nice value because of his role this week. Fade him. tuning in. If you enjoyed the show, subscribe below, tell a friend. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Good luck this weekend, and I'll see you next week. Spectacular.